Peace of Christ and Ave Maria. My name is Alistair. If you're new here, I'm also known as the Faith Explorer. You can find me on Instagram, link is in the description. Today we celebrate the feast of Saint Elizabeth of Hungary, also known as Saint Elizabeth of Thuringia. On July 7, 1207, in Hungary, Saint Elizabeth was born in Hungary royalty. She was born to King Andrew II and Gertrude of Merania. Elizabeth was just 4 years old when her parents decided who she would marry. And the guy was soon going to be Ludwig IV, a German nobleman. For this reason, at the age of 4, she was sent to the court of Landgrave of Thuringia for education. Sadly, in the year 1213, her mother was murdered due to a conflict between German and Hungary nobles. From this point, her perspective about life and death changed. She sought consolation through prayer. She found peace with prayer. In the year 1221, Elizabeth married Ludwig IV, the man who she truly loved. The couple had 3 beautiful children. One joined a religious life and became abbess of a German convent. The other 2 became members of nobility. Ludwig, being the ruler of Thuringia, supported Elizabeth in her religious life, also in the works of charity. Being part of the royal court, Elizabeth was very humble and she lived a simple life. She practiced penance and used her royal position for the works of charity. She was completely devoted to the works of charity. In 1223, Franciscan friars entered Thuringia and taught 16-year-old Elizabeth all about Saint Francis. From that time onwards, Elizabeth started imitating Saint Francis. Now, being part of the royal court, Elizabeth always put herself in poor people's shoes. She would always take bread and give it to the poor who would come to her gate. She was so down to earth. Nowadays, you will see modern Christians, whenever they join the ministry, all they want to do is go and lead praise and worship, go and give talks, and they just want to be in front of public. But they never think of being part of them, being down to earth, living a simple life, practicing virtues in their personal and private life. All they want to do is just be in front of the public. Whereas Saint Elizabeth, being a rich person, being a rich woman, she was simple clothing, so down to earth. She used to always, it is even said that she used to give her royal outfits to poor people. This is the problem at times with modern Christians. All they focus on doing is just wear good clothes and go in front of public, give talks, read praise and worship, and only sing and shout. But the most important thing is what crushes the head of Satan. It is the virtue of humility. So this is what we can learn from Saint Elizabeth of Hungary. Under the spiritual guidance of a Franciscan friar, Elizabeth lived a life of prayer, sacrifice towards poor. In the year 1226, when disease and flood struck in Thuringia, Elizabeth took care of the victims. She even built a hospital and provided thousands of poor people daily. Sadly, after the early death of her husband in 1227, Elizabeth left all her royal dignities to serve God freely. Her love for God was more than the earthly things. She decided to never remarry and took a vow of celibacy. She also took a vow of complete obedience towards her spiritual director. Now, her spiritual director was very strict and he used to often treat her very harshly. He sent her children away and also used to give her multiple beatings. However, she still continued to keep her vow. In the year 1228, Elizabeth joined the Third Order of St. Francis at Marburg. There she built a hospital in honor of St. Francis with some property still belonging to her. There she took care of the sick and she only retained for herself a small mud house. She devoted herself to God and to her charitable works. In the year 1231, Elizabeth passed away before her 24th birthday in Marburg. So here are the top 3 miracles of Saint Elizabeth. So the first one is during the time when she was alive. It is said that when Elizabeth was giving bread to the poor in secret, Ludwig asked her questions because he wanted to erase everybody's suspicion about her stealing treasures from the castle. So Ludwig asked her to reveal what's under her cloak. When she did that, a vision of white and red roses was seen. To Ludwig, this was a sign of God's protection for Elizabeth. The fun fact is, her story comes in the list of many Christian saints with roses. The second miracle was when her mother-in-law found out that she placed a leper in her bed. By the way, that's the bed she used to share with her husband. So when her mother-in-law found out that she placed a leper in a bed, she told Ludwig about this. Annoyed with the situation, Ludwig took off the bedcloth from the bed, and instead of the leper, he saw a figure of Christ crucified stretched upon the bed. The third miracle happened after her death. Miraculous healings happened at a gravesite near a hospital. An investigation happened. This investigation included the examination of all those who were healed from 1232 till 1235. There were also testimonies from Elizabeth's handmaidens and her companions. So based on these investigation, testimonies and miracles, she was canonized on May 27, 1235 by Pope Gregory IX. So Saint Elizabeth is a patron saint of bakers, beggars, homeless people, charity, death of children, and much more. In fact, Pope Benedict XVI addressed her as a model for those in authority. See how interesting our story is. In fact, this is what we can learn. This is the one thing that we can learn. We need to humble ourselves. We often try to show off our faith. Our faith is mostly external, but internal, what are we doing? We always try to tell people what they should do. But one thing, ask yourself, are you practicing what you're preaching? Elizabeth was not a preacher, but she was practicing her virtues. She was setting up good example. That's how you evangelize. Not just by talking, but also doing. The doing comes first. Jesus did and then he preached. So that's all for this video. And thank you so much. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Peace of Christ and Ave Maria. And also wish you a very happy feast of Saint Elizabeth of Hungary.